better than I know your horse. Stoic. No? Well, let's just go with this is just where we start. Let's not make it harder to start with. We'll just take a look and see where we're at and what we can do to make it better. A little bigger trot. And I want you to think about making her a little rounder on each side, one side at a time. Now we're going to make her rounder left by putting the bit lower in the mouth on the left. Just drop. Feel like you push down with your ring finger until she gives you a little chew. Because that's really what I'd like is a chew, even more than a drop in her neck. Yep, ask her to come a little rounder left. Now first she's going to do that. She's going to say, I don't know what you mean. Yep. Good girl. Super. And then relax your arm. Good. Now you're going to invite her down a little. That's okay. Invite her down a little on the right side, the outside rein. I'm trying to figure out which rein is her best. There. Then she gave a little bit. Then you be soft. Don't get your reins so short that she feels like there's nowhere to go. Okay, so that's a little bit different than most dressage people. If you get her reins too short, there's nowhere to go, and especially as an event horse, she's going to really get stuck. So ask the left side just to give. It doesn't have to be much, just a little yes, ma'am. And I'm asking that so that we get her a little there, soft, relax. Yes, whatever you think is the amount to get a response. Now do it on the outside rein. So I'm not going to just, yes, and then relax. And I know this is a beginning, kind of a beginner thing, but she has to learn, that's super. And then you just be soft. So we can get to the point where all you have to do is, that's super. And then a 20-meter circle. I know this is kind of early stuff, but you know, if you're both a little unfit, this is fine, right? 20-meter circle. Find a little bit of ask on the left. So what I'm trying to get across to her is when mom touches the bit, something has to happen. And if it does, then mom will let go a little bit. Does that make sense? So you don't find yourself just pulling. Because she's got the kind of a neck that could make you do that. Yep, she's got, you know, it's strong and it's there. Good. And now ask on the outside, just a little gentle touch. There, she gave right off the bat. Feel it? Now on the inside, little tiny touch. Yep, and then relax. And I'm not trying to make her crazy. I'm just trying to say when mom touches the reins, it means something. Yeah, and then the right, you touch, she chews, she drops her neck a little bit. Yep. Good, and straight ahead. And the left, touch, she chews. Yes, she just has to get the yes, ma'am. She doesn't have to be perfect yet. But by the end of the ride, I bet she's giving really nicely. But I just want her to know we're just not going to use her, you know, use her mouth as that way to get up and down. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's change directions. I'm just getting her around the arena once. See where she's, you know, what she's feeling like. The what? Yeah. Good. Then we're going to go to something to work on that in a second. I'm just trying to figure out who she is. A little half halt left on the outside. Good. And then relax it. And a half halt right. That was super. And then a half halt left. We're getting there though. Look, we're already getting some response. But I'm having you really divide up the aids so you don't find yourself just in a pulling match, okay? That's it. That's it. Now we're going to go around the corner and I'm going to ask you to use your left rein to ask her left hind leg to walk. Keep your right rein, but make your left rein ask her to walk. Good girl. That was correct. The first step was on the left hind. Keep her on the bit. Now I'm going to ask you to use your right leg to ask her right hind leg to trot, okay? Your right touches her right and asks her to trot. Just the right leg. Perfect. And post out. We're going to do 4 or 5 of those, okay? Go straight. I'll let you know when. Good. Now your left rein is going to ask her left hind to walk. You got it. Okay? Your right leg is going to ask her, yeah, I know, work her, get her straight again. There's a lot of things going on here. This is a more complicated exercise than you think it is. Fair enough? Trot with your right leg, yes. Because I want you to break up your aids a little bit so you don't just push with both legs and pull with both hands. Good. Your left rein's going to ask her left hind to walk. You close your rein. Good girl. Your right leg asks her right hind to trot. Good girl. Now you used half as much for each of those. Did you feel that? Okay. So I want you to be aware that when you use your rein, you need to have a response. You can only get a response on one side or the other. It's just how the biomechanics of horses works. Pulling on both reins does you no good. Change rein. Because only one leg is coming into the stance phase, which is the only time they can change their body, okay? That's just biomechanics. So if you're pulling on both reins at the same time, only one hind leg can respond. And so by using two reins, you're basically telling the other one to ignore you. Does that make sense? If you think about it. And this turns into flying change stuff. This turns into passage stuff. Turns into all the stuff. Good. Now you're going to ask her right hind leg. Once you're straight, you're going to ask her right hind leg to walk. Your right rein tells her right hind leg. Good girl. Walk quietly along in a straight line. Good for you. And then your left leg is going to ask her left hind to trot. Very lightly, as little as you need. Good girl. Now we're a little more awake. A little more aware, I should say, that whole thing. Good. Your right rein closes and asks her to walk. That was good. Your left leg asks her to trot. And just be aware. Give yourself permission to really find out how little does it take. Not how much, how little. 20-meter circle. Now your left rein is going to ask her to bend a little bit and collect a little bit, because that's what it tries. That's why we circle, because it brings the inside hind leg into collection. Bend left. Good. And when she feels good, just give the rein for 1 step. Millisecond. Excellent. Good. Circle again. Bend a little left. When she gives, just a little give on the rein. Good girl. Super. Straight ahead. It doesn't feel like a big deal, but I want you to check in with your body and just verify. Yes, super. Verify that you don't have to pull. If you find yourself pulling, make a half halt, give the rein, and go back to the beginning again. Does that make sense? Because she's used to you holding her neck up. And that's not the end of the world. Lots of people, lots of baby horses, you start them that way. Good. Straight ahead. Awesome. Awesome. Now a little tiny left half halt. Don't give up the right rein though. There you go. It's okay. Little tiny left half halt without seeing, I don't want to see your neck move. I just want to see your left hind leg do a half halt. Good. Super. Keeping your outside rein as a bearing rein, kind of like a side rein. Doing okay? I know it's hot. That's okay. And a little left half halt. Don't change your right side. Just a little one. Really. There. That's what I wanted. Did you feel that? Just a little half halt. Again, a stabilizing. Yes! And then soft left hand. So we show her that if she gives us her neck, we won't just hang there. But that means you're going to have to be like 10 times more responsive. Good. Yes! Good. A gentle left half halt as she comes back a little tiny bit. Yes. Wait for it. Good. 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 20-meter circle. And that's why I don't want people to get their reins too short. Does that make sense? If you get them too short, you don't have a place to... Yes. Now her back is really swinging along. That tail's moving. Everything looks really nice. Good. A little left bending when you feel her acquiesce. A little soft hand. Just give your hand for a second. Opening the fingers. Good. Good girl. There's your back, mare. How's it feel? Because her back's moving. But can you feel that? She's moving through her body. And then, yeah, because she's rolling. And soft hand. And then soft half halt. And her tail swinging. Good job, sweetie. Isn't that a nice feeling? And now you're getting a little bit of, impulsion and engagement and suspension. You're getting a swing through her top line. I only come back occasionally, straight ahead. But this is beautiful. I think we just had to, but now you have a tool. And then a little half halt. Bring her back a little and then soften and let her back swing. There you go. So if I'm looking at you now, and you maybe can see it in the mirror as it comes towards you, do you see how her tail's swinging? That's what I'm looking for. That tells me her spine is oscillating, okay? As a judge, unless I see that tail swing in the trot, you won't get higher than a 6.5 from me, okay? That's my rule. It doesn't get in this fairly good range until the tail moves. There, feel that? Because that means the spine is swinging left and right with the diagonals. Good, and then walk right hind, your right rein, see how light that can be? Good. Now, relax your reins, let her stretch, and let's walk across the diagonal. Is this making sense? Sort of? Kind of? Okay. So all I'm trying to do is not, so many times when we use our reins and legs, no one's ever talked about the biomechanics of how this works. And that if you're pulling on both reins at one time, only one leg can listen. Right? Only one leg can half halt. And so I'm trying to help you use what is your innate rider sense to figure out when to use your reins and hands. Does that make sense? You can do this. No, she's a nice mare. You have some other things you're working on, but let's just try to see if we can get her a little rounder and a little more, little more supple. Yeah. She's not. No, she's not. And fortunately, I know it's raining out, but it's not as hot as it's been either, which thank God feels better. Well, you can be pleased. She looks fine. Yeah. Oh, you can do it. Get the front feet figured out. She's tripping. Let's get that figured out. So now let's pick her up again. And again, I don't want you to think I'm just going to shorten my reins and grip on her mouth. I want you to think my left hand controls her left hind leg. My right hand controls her right hind leg. My left leg controls her left hind leg. My right leg controls her right hind leg. And really think about how that works. Fair enough? Good. And then we're going to trot with your right leg. No, you shouldn't have to. Don't apologize. Don't go there. Good. Now, half halt whichever hind leg you think is getting a little quick. Yes, that was correct. It was the left. Again, half halt whichever one you think is getting a little, pushing her on the forehand a little. Find it. Good. Then soft that rein. Open that finger. Got it. Now the back is swinging again. Feel it? Then push her up from the left. Just say, okay, a little bigger now, just to experiment. Good. Now half halt the right hind leg with your right rein. Just experiment. Spend the next couple minutes figuring out that was super. And then a little rounder on the left again. So your left rein is going to half halter and make her rounder. Yes. And then that little opening of your fingers is a thank you. And then a little half halt left and see if you can get her a little slower. Yeah, perfect. And then soft your hand again. Because your goal is to get to the point, Amy, where she goes around with very little interference from you other than little tiny conversational closings of your hand and closings of your leg. Does that make sense? That is self-carriage. Do you feel that? Now, 20-meter circle at E. You can do this. Yep, perfect. That's great. I don't care where it is. It doesn't matter to me. And then a little half halt left, tiniest one. There, she shifts her weight back. And then again, you open your, that's okay. There's no mistakes. That doesn't, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. You think too much. Tell the squirrels to be quiet. You're doing fine. Seriously, you're riding just fine. Yeah. And a little half halt right, just to increase the bending. We're just doing different things. That's it. She very nicely bent for you, right? And then you open that right hand. You make sure you give after she gives. And then look how much better the neck goes. And then her neck starts to fall forward and down in a good way. And straight ahead. And you're going to have some mistakes. She's going to once in a while break to the walk. Or she's going to get a little bigger than you want. Or, you know. Awesome. That's perfect. That is perfect. There. Then a little tiny half halt just to keep checking in with her. Have a conversation like a friend over coffee at Starbucks. Not a wrestling match. Super. Super. Now change rein. Are we having fun? Yeah. Sort of? Okay.
No, you don't even know.
Good. Yes, that's a conversation. Did you feel that? Did a little left half halt. She came back to you, and now you can practice pushing her a little forward. And a 20-meter circle down there to practice. Gotcha. 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 Good. A little more bend left. Just the tiniest. There. How do we feel about that? We okay? You got to tell me if you run out of gas here. Okay. There. Now she's moving through her back again. Feel that? The swinginess is there. And if you look in the mirror, you'll see that her tail's moving. Yep. Good. That's even a better trot. Feel? Straight ahead. And don't go too long between little tiny half halts. Either a half halt to make her rounder, or make her slower, or send her forward so you can make her slower again. Have a conversation. Don't wait too long. 2-3 steps and do something. And then ask for a little bend in the corner with the left rein. Got it. Good girl. And a little bend again. And then straighten with the right rein. And a 20-meter circle. When you get to B, it's coming up on your right. And a little bit of a bend. Turn around to the circle. And then remember to release once you've closed your hand. That's it. You're not going to hold her up, Amy. She can hold herself up. Yes. There. How's that feel? And straight ahead. But it's mostly just reminding you that you have to let go once in a while and then just have another conversation. You know what I mean? Doing okay? Down the quarter line after the center line. So it's like the board down here that your drink is on. Yep, and then a little half halt left, just for fun. Yep, good. Good. Yes. And then turn again to the other quarter line. That'll be a 10-meter half turn. Yep, exactly. Now you can ride a little bit. Then you can ask for a little more or ask for a little less. Good. Good girl. And now you're up to a big enough trot that she should be a little lighter. Yep, I mean, you're not holding her back, you're pushing her forward to it. That's it. And now quarter line again. I know you're working really hard. Now a very gentle leg yield towards the wall. I don't care if you only go 1 foot sideways. Don't get in a hurry. Don't get in a hurry. Yes. 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 Then quarter line again. And get straight on the quarter line and don't think about what you're going to do next, because now you're going to leg yield left to the center line. Yep. Little half halts, little conversations, no frozen hands, no frozen legs. Good job. And track right at C. Perfect. Perfect. And a walk with your left rein. That's okay. So that's just her locking the bottom of her neck. That one was. Okay. You asked her to take weight in her left hind and she went, I'm going to kind of lock my neck and oops, I forgot to bend my front leg. I mean, that really is what it is. So we're just going to work on, and all I'm doing is talking about everyone hears the word half halts a billion times, right? But I'm actually working on what the half halt really means, and then a free walk and let her stretch her neck out and get kind of together here. So that we can actually work on a half halt that is effective. And like I said, I think the biggest thing that people don't think about is they don't think about the fact that if you're pulling all the time, the leg that's not able to respond is just getting numbed. And if you break it into left side, right side, because horses really are two engines, okay? There's a left engine and a right engine, all right? Your left rein controls the left engine. Your right rein controls the right engine. It's just the way they work. Cars have one single engine that pushes both wheels forward. So you don't have a left brake or a right brake, you know what I mean? But because you have two different engines, and horses, we all know, have one leg that's stronger and one leg that's a little weaker or a little slower, not necessarily weaker, but slower, or doesn't have as long a stance phase. So what we're doing is we're trying to say your left hand controls the left engine, your right hand controls the right engine, your left leg controls the left engine, your right leg controls the right engine. And instead of just random, instead of just kind of pulling, you're trying to figure out which hind leg is not taking enough weight and which hind leg isn't pushing hard enough. Make sense? And people are so good at this, I don't have to tell them. They already know the answer. They just have to give themselves permission to feel it. And I know we're working on a lot of trot, but trot's the easiest because it's the most even so far. Good. Then we'll pick her up again. You're being a good girl. And she is fit. She's not breathing hard. She's really fit. I don't know why either, but she could just plain be one of those horses that has good breathing. It could happen. The drunk walk, drunk sailor walk. So your right leg is going to ask for the trot. Doesn't matter. Wait until you get it. Teach her one leg. Good. That was really well done. And then find the half halt that she needs because she's a little running through your left rein a little bit. I'm just helping you find it. Half halt left. Good. And then relax the fingers. Good. Half halt left again. I just can tell you that's what it was. Perfect. And then your right half halt for the bending. That's okay. I don't care. You're going to be riding so fast you're going to lose your mind here for a while because you're just not used to dividing your aids up. But once you start thinking about it, is let your body feel which hind leg is pushing too hard or which side is not working right. Give yourself permission to figure it out. Don't just decide that you can't figure it out. You usually can. Awesome. Now you're making good choices. And change rein across the diagonal. And this is the stuff those of us that do this for a living, we've been doing this for a long time, but once I tell people when I get on their horses, let me tell you how often I half halt. I half halt all the time. It's just I open my fingers up all the time too, right afterwards. Once I get a response, I relax my hand. And it isn't that you have to throw your hand way forward and show me a big demonstration, but it's just you just open your hand like that. Feel? You gave her a space to trot into right there. Straight ahead again. Find a little bit of a half halt, just a little rebalancing. Yep. And then you open your fingers a little bit. And even if she trots right into that space, you just do it again. Till one day you find yourself going around on this beautiful light contact and your horse is no longer running away from your weight. And it doesn't take as long as you think. But see, she's getting a little bit rounder. She's figuring out you're not trying to pull her in, you're just trying to explain it to her. It's 20-meter circle at E, it's coming up, no big deal. Take your time. I don't care how perfect all that stuff is, that's just training. Beautiful bend, right? There you go. Now, would you like to canter? Or do you want to stay in the trot? Okay, show me your canter. Yep. Yep, and at any point you'd like to, your right leg is going to signal her right. That's okay. We can even stay in the circle. Your right leg, your right rein, and your right leg are very important. They're the half halts. And I'll explain why in a minute. Circle again. Your inside rein guides the shoulders. Your outside rein is going to half halt. Your inside rein guides the shoulders, circle. Your outside leg rein is going to half halt. There, feel it? Your inside rein guides the shoulders. Your outside rein is going to half halt. Perfect. That was a good canter. I'm pretty happy with that. Get your balance back again. Don't pull, just find it. Yeah, find that. So don't pull doesn't mean don't touch your mouth. It means don't be there for longer than 2 steps, okay? That's what it means. When I say don't pull, that means don't panic and just grab with both reins. It means find out which hind leg is the one that's kind of causing our problem. And yes, perfect. Okay, that's it. Figure out which. Yes, it's the left more often than the right on this mare. Yep. Left drift. She falls a little through her left shoulder. So you're going to have more left half halts than right ones. Circle again. We're going to stay in a circle just for a second. Yes. Sit your trot for a couple steps and canter. And you're going to use your right leg to cue the canter. Your left rein steers the shoulders. And if you need to slow her down, use the outside half halt. Your left rein steers the shoulders. Now your left leg can energize a little bit. Got it? And you're right. That's super. Now you're dividing up your aids to different sides. Well done. Well done. And back to the trot, right rein. And I'll explain why in a second. Perfect. Find your baby half halt. Yes, look how much better that was, right? And then come to the walk. Right rein, good. So here's something to think about. Biomechanically, the first stride of the canter comes from the outside hind leg, right? We all know that, right? That's also the leg that has to start the canter. So that's why typically we start the canter with the outside leg, because that's the first leg that pushes off, okay? The inside hind leg is the one that propels it forward. That's why typically when we're cantering, the outside leg asks for it and the inside leg activates. Okay? You don't have to be crazy about it, but now you know why I was telling you the legs that I was telling you. And that the inside rein has a little job, but it's not a huge job. It's not a half halting job, because if you stop that jumping leg, they'll trot. The outside rein is a better half halting one, because it slows down the first stride of the canter, so the inside leg, hind leg can come farther forward and balance better. So I mean, that's a whole pile of biomechanic crap. But there was a reason that I was telling you the legs and the reins that I was. So if your horse slows down too much, your inside leg is going to be your best bet, okay? If your horse is running away, your outside rein is your best bet. Does that make sense? If she's not turning, you need a little bit of a leading inside rein on a young horse, or a horse that's kind of not super together. Now, I know there's that outside leg, I know that, or outside rein thing, I know there's that inside all that stuff, but I'm going to the basics of turning a young horse. That's just how the mechanics works. And so that outside rein is important. No, not because it's wrong, but because a horse has to have enough inside jump to make the outside rein effective, and she's not there yet. She's not there yet. That's a second level horse that jumps up into the rein enough that you can steer a little bit with your outside, but you still need an inside rein to turn the shoulders. You still need that inside rein. So I'm just giving you, I know this is a ton of stuff, but it's stuff to think about.
No, I'm so happy.
So no, we're doing great.
You don't even know.
So let's go straight. And I know you know, today the first lesson is I was like, oh my God, but this is kind of like my ABCs thing, so that I can tell you why I'm telling you what I'm doing. It's not just because this is pure dressage biomechanics. That's all it is. Well, and the ABCs become really important when you get in the middle of a canter pirouette and they start to step on themselves, and I say, this is the hind leg that has to take more weight. Because like it comes back to you. Like you can't write a novel without A, B, and C, right? I mean, like this is really, if you don't have these, they come back to haunt you. So we're gonna pick up a trot again when you're right. This is not the way we cantered before. This is a different way. I did correct it, okay. When you are ready, yep, trot off the inside. And you consider rise. I don't care what you do at this point, so, yep. Now use your left rein to put her left rein in the wall, or left shoulder in the wall, right? Because that steers the left hind leg and the left shoulder, right? And then a right bend. Your right rein's gonna bend her. Guide the shoulders around the corner. Got it. Then we're gonna make a 20-meter circle again at E. Good. Yeah, I know, we have to wait for us. And then checking in on both reins to make sure your half halts are still working in the trot, because it's a bilateral gait, meaning it's the same left and right. You can use either rein for a half halts and either leg for a push, whichever you think is the right one. Now when you're ready, we're going to canter. You're going to touch her with your outside leg and ask for the canter. Yep. And energize with the inside leg a little, and then half halt with the outside rein a little, then energize with the inside leg. Yep. Jumping leg, there you go, and then a half halt on the outside, and energize with the inside leg, and half halt with the outside rein, and energize with the inside leg, and half halt with the outside rein, and make sure that you're steering with the shoulders and the inside rein. That's the only thing it has to do. Good. And then back to the trot on the left rein, because that's the first stride of the trot. Perfect. Find a half halt if she feels, that's it. Super. Now you're riding faster than me. Good. You're supposed to. You're the one up there. Straight ahead. Straighten the shoulders with the left rein. Awesome. Good. Turn the shoulders with the right hand. You got it. Straighten the shoulders with the left. Turn the shoulders with the right. Straighten the shoulders with the left. Your brain's going to fall off soon. Okay. It's a lot of stuff. Yep. And the secret, like I said, the secret to that whole pulling thing is don't get stuck in a situation where you have to hold for too long. That doesn't mean she's not going to get tired at some point. Her neck's not going to start to fall downwards, but good. Down your quarter line. And leg yield left. Your right leg pushes her over a little bit. Your left rein guides the shoulders. Yeah, and then you half halt left. Yep, you figure out. Yes, good for you. Figure out what the hole is and fix it. Well done. Quarter line again. Does that make sense? You have to, because you're going to see it before you're going to feel it before I'm going to see it. And leg yield left. That's okay. Yep, that's fine. We could be a little more aligned, but I'm okay with it because we got the right idea. The shoulders just went faster than the hind legs. Quarter line again, and we're going to leg yield to the right, to the center line. I know, she's getting a little tired. It's a lot of work in the heat. Now we're going to leg yield right. Take your time. Yep. Add a little leg. Just say, come on, you can do this. Yes. Yes. Yes, and then turn left. No, that's just a harder one. So diagonal, and we'll do it again. Go across your diagonal. Good. Down your quarter line. The second one, the one after C. Good, turning gently, good. Now straighten. Now use your left leg and your right rein to take her to the center line. Yep, touch with the whip a little bit and say, no, gotta wake it up a little bit. Yep, guide the right shoulder right. That's okay. We'll figure it. There you go. Fight for it a little. Good for you, Amy. You got it. Sometimes, I mean, there's a little draft horse in this one. Sometimes, yeah, so sometimes she just goes a little bit numb. And it's going to be over time that you're going to figure that out. But look how nice our frame is, right? And she's swinging, and she's forward, and she's all the stuff. And a walk right hind. Okay, what do you think? I gave you so much stuff, and of course you're sitting here with this, with a recorder, and so I hope a bunch of it comes to you. Because it's really, I hope I didn't screw that up. I hope I didn't. No, it looks like it's good. So it's just thinking about the why of it, and that any aid that you any aid that you maintain too long is going to numb them. And that means if you don't get a response for it, you might have to take that aid and multiply it by 2, and then when she listens, then you subtract it by 2. Does that make sense? So that you give as when she gives. I know, I threw a ton at you. That always happens on a first lesson.
You didn't. I mean, you did, but you didn't.
You did, but you didn't. Okay,